maendeleo, Sabur, Kiptonge, Elgeyo Tanui. Huyu ni nani?
Wow, Elgeyo Tanui.
Yeah.
Elgeyo Tanui is a born-again Christian. Son of Muse Chemut, Arab Tanui.
Allah.
Kiptonge is the family name. It's the larger family name. And for identity, I like to be identified with that larger family.
Yeah.
And also to keep the name moving and growing. So that is Kiptonge. And then you have mentioned Sabur.
Sabur.
Sabur is another name which I loved, and I thank to be associated with Sabur.
And that is my home.
That's your home?
Yeah.
Yes. I was there for 4 years. That was my first posting school, Sabur Primary. Under the leadership of Muse Kochil, David Kochil.
Who just retired the other day.
Exactly. And in fact, I came for his retirement.
And asante kwa
because I like him, and he's my mentor. Some of the leadership skills that I'm applied,
sasa hapo kwa
I borrowed from
Bwana Kochil. Sasa hapo kwa Kochil, tunaombana moto. That is how Kalenjin say.
Ah, that's great.
We are neighbors. So kama huko unanijua, now you know.
I've been there, I've been to Kochil, I've been to David Taiwa. I know people like several people who are there, Pastor Netonani, brother to David.
That is Zakayo Kokoyo.
Kokoyo. Pastor Kokoyo, David Kokoyo, kuna Muse Kochil, and several of them.
Well, you were posted in Sabur, the first posting as a teacher. Which year was this?
That was 1990, May.
1990.
1st May.
Meaning you left Sabur in 1993-ish.
No, 1994.
1994.
After working for 4 years. And in fact, that's where I grew from the teacher, classroom teacher. I thought I was in Sabur, I taught for 2 years. And Mr. Kochil, by that time the teacher was giving out the promotion. And Mr. Kochil saw my potential in leadership, and he promoted me to capacity of deputy. When the then deputy was promoted to be a teacher.
That name, Elgeyo Tanui, is very famous in Sabur.
Yes.
Watu wanasema you are a strict teacher, a disciplinarian.
Absolutely.
Ukisikia Mr. Tanui amekuita, ujue kimeumana.
Yes, if you go there and check back to my records, 2020, 1990. The mean score of mathematics and science, those were the best so far, were my records.
Wow.
And the students, my students then, most of them are graduates, and they are good personnel in those areas. Even the chief, I remember even the one which was given to be the chief, Serem. Is it David Serem or?
Taita Serem. He's the current chief.
Yes, that was my student.
And we graduated from Aseno sometimes. But
yes, and we have several of them.
That sounds like...
most of them have degrees, others are teachers, others are in accounts. I remember even this gentleman, Taiwa, working with the commission. Mtoto wa Andrew Taiwa, ako public service board,
Baringo County Government.
So hiyo ni mwanafunzi wangu.
Na
wengi, sio huyo mmoja peke yake.
So from Sabur,
I'm known in Sabur, one, because of producing quality results. Two, because of maintaining discipline. And in fact, it is that discipline which made those children the way they are now. Yes.
That's really nice. So, from Sabur, your first posting, where next did you go in your teaching profession?
I think that time, Rosoga Primary was not performing well. And since I come around that area, the management and some of the leaders went to Kabarnet to request that it be transferred to Rosoga so that I could uplift.
When do Okoye Jahazi?
Niende ni Okoye Rosoga Primary.
Yeah.
And I was transferred from Sabor to Rosoga on the same capacity as the deputy.
Yep.
And I want to thank the late Alfred Ngetun, because when I went there, I worked under him. And he's also one of the gentlemen who actually installed some good leadership in me. And that is where I worked as the deputy from 1994 to 1996. 1996, he was promoted to be the tax tutor that time, the late Alfred Ngetui. And by then, I had a fracture, and I was at home.
Sorry for that.
The same day, the late recommended that I be the teacher. And imagine I was on my sick leave. Then I told them, "Zee, how can I
lead the school when you're grounded?"
I mean, maternity, not, I mean,
you're on sick leave.
Sick leave. Then the gentleman said, "No, I know you are very strong. Once you will be out of the bed, you will take the school to a very higher level." Yes. And for sure, I did that. So I became the teacher Rosoga from 96 to the year 2000.
Well, so from the teaching profession, what are you doing currently, and how have you transitioned from kufunza darasani to where you are?
Well, you know, from Rosoga, I can say also I was given a promotion because I was transferred from Rosoga to Nairobi boarding, which was a big school, a boarding school. So you know when you are transferred from a day school and you are taken to a boarding school, it was a big promotion. And that is where also my leadership skills developed.
Yep. So at Nairobi, how long did you spend there?
12 years.
12 years. So
that
from
is
2000 to 2012.
Correct. That is where I made a lot of human resource. Yes, human resource. And that is where I interacted with a lot of NGOs. That is where I learned how to write proposals. So I can remember, first of all, when it comes to academic, Nairobi was among the bottom 10 when I went there. And I took Nairobi to position 1 academically.
So, okay.
And by then was Baringo County. Can you imagine becoming number 1 in Baringo County? And then the other thing which I did, there were so many needy students, and they were very bright. I also participated in securing scholarship. And I can give you 2 examples out of many, about 50.
Scholarships to college, university? Or
scholarship to secondary.
To secondary
because
school.
They were from primary.
Yes.
I remember Kabarnet Foundation. We had Equity.
Foundation.
We have got Kisii. Also Mogotio farmers. They were also giving out scholarships. And I remember they took 1 girl from
the school.
So I want to give you an example of 2 who up to now they are in higher positions because of those initiatives.
And I believe they are watching right now. And
I want to believe they are watching, or if they are not watching, they will get the message.
Yes.
We have Dr. Trisa Kiblagat.
Daktari Trisa Kiblagat.
Daktari.
Anafanya kazi wapi?
Daktari now is working with the Nairobi Hospital. And then in pharmacy, as a pharmacist. And she was telling me she's pursuing a master's and a scholarship again. So you know, when you start something good, the same thing will follow you through.
Mikono mizuri.
Those are good hands. So Trisa is enjoying her life.
The other one is
called Josephat Lowe.
Josephat Lowe.
As we are speaking now, Josephat Lowe is in Canada. Yes.
Wow.
And Josephat Lowe, we gave him, we offered him the board of management. Then offered him some privilege to board.
To be part of the leadership of the school?
No, yes, he was part of the leadership, but he was allowed to be a boarder without paying any fee.
Ah.
Yes.
So that's the support you gave him.
We supported him right from class 4,
Uh-huh.
and then when he joined secondary, we managed to secure him equity, wings to fly, and he went to Lenana High School.
Lenana School,
Yes, from Lenana he benefited with another scholarship, which he took them to South Africa. I think it was Form 5 and Form 6. From there he went to Duke University, Canada. And I want to believe he's almost completing. And he was telling me he's going to pursue up to a PhD level in Canada.
So pongezi kwao, Dr. Triza, if you're watching, or if you'll be watching later, Dr. Triza and Lowey.
Yes.
So Lowey, Just for Lowey. What is he studying in Canada now?
Leadership and management.
Oh.
Under the initiative of, there was an initiative that in Africa, we want to improve leadership and management. So those are some of the few selected students to go and study to improve that on leadership and management.
And that's a good thing. So
correct.
From Nairobi,
yes,
you have been seeing promotions, and more promotions. Are we seeing another promotion from Nairobi in your profession? From
Nairobi, I was transferred. I can say it was an horizontal, an horizontal transfer, because I was taken to Embu
to head the same school.
Embu Special School. It was called Embu Integrated.
Integrated school.
By then it was integrated with the visually impaired.
Yes.
And I can say it was God's will for me to go there, because once I landed there, I realized the SNE. The SNE.
What is SNE?
That is the special need education.
Okay, special needs.
Those are
education.
the visually impaired children.
Yeah.
For sure, they didn't have facilities. And I was almost suggesting to, in fact, I suggested to the director then that they should give a teacher who was trained in the special needs field. But since he had confidence in me, he told me, go and make sure those children attain all their needs. And by then, there were no sufficient braille machines. They didn't have, they call it CCTV. It's a machine which enlarges the textbook
the content, so that the child can see.
And the other thing they were missing, you know, there is they are calling thermostat, something like that, whereby you print using the normal writing, but once it prints, it brings the braille.
In braille format?
Yes, in braille format. There is such a machine.
Yeah.
Also, there was a special laptop. A special laptop which can translate so many things from the normal to braille. Yeah. And I want to tell you, by the time I left that school.
Which year was this?
That was the 2016.
2016,
We had procured all the materials. And I can say confidently, Embu Special School is the best in the Republic of Kenya. Wow. In terms of materials that they have. Yes. And if I want to tell even the viewers, if they have a child who is visually impaired, either low vision or totally blind, the best school to be is Embu Special School, because they have all the materials. And you know, we secured through what? Through writing proposals.
And that is Kiptonge mwenyewe.
Yes, that is where I've learned where money comes. You should not rely with only the county government, the national government. There are so many donors who can give money to assist.
Now, that would bring me to another question, but before that, wewe kwa sasa?
Yes.
You've risen in ranks. Sai wewe unafanya kazi gani?
So from there I rose up to the, and I think it was promotion as a result. That was God's given, as a result of assisting Embu that level. And since they had secured what they wanted, I was promoted to the office of CSO.
CSO.
Curriculum Support Officer. There sometimes people confuse with OCS.
Yeah. CSO.
But we normally, we accept.
Curriculum support.
When somebody tell you, yes, bwana OCS, we'll say,
nakubali
kwa vile unajua angesema CSO.
So curriculum support office.
Yes.
What has been your role? That is 20 from which year?
Yeah, from 2016 to date.
From 2016 to date. What has been your role as a curriculum support officer?
As curriculum support officer, you are given mandate to manage a zone. And currently I'm running a Lower Ravine zone.
Yeah.
Lower Ravine zones run from Baringo High School to South. That is 10 secondary schools, 14 primary public, 11 primary private, 2 training ECD training institute. So people do not know that we have 2 ECD centers. We have one at the Ravine boarding primary and Greenfield. They are under my jurisdiction, and also the technology. Those are the schools under my zone.
So those are like 37 institutions that you are manning. And on day to day, what is your role like as a curriculum support officer? Correct.
As the name suggests,
yes,
it is curriculum support officer. We are supporting curriculum delivery. We go to school, interact with the teachers, see to it that the curriculum delivery is as ought to be. So we assist the teachers in terms of schemes of work, lesson plan, in terms of content delivery, all that.
So randomly, how is the uptake of CBC in Ravine now that is a new thing that you're pushing to implement as the officers from the government?
Okay, before I come to CPC, I would like to say when I came to take over Lower Ravine zone, it was position 5 in the sub-county. And last year, Lower Ravine zone became number 1 under my initiative.
Wow.
And you know, we have strategies now to attain results.
And that is the question. What is the secret of you? Is it a golden touch? Is it, what strategies are you making to see to it that you're lifting an institution or a zone or whatever the institution that you are given to run from very low performing to an excellent result? What is the secret in your leadership?
One, it starts from my personality.
What's your personality?
I love the job.
Unapenda kazi.
Napenda kuchapa kazi. That is one. Number 2, the children. I have the heart. I have that will that every child should succeed. I have the children at my heart. So every time I go to every school, I want to see the strategy they are applying. Will it give results? And if they don't give results, I will encourage them to adopt the strategies that gives results. I remember the first time I came, we had to do benchmarking. And the schools which are in the reserves, I took them to Rosoga. They benchmarked Rosoga. And the town schools, I took them to St. Mary Mogotio. And you know, benchmarking is making somebody to see the reality. You know, you can use 1,000 words to explain a content that you would have even taken the person just to see and understand.
And kwa wakati mwingine pia they say it's until you taste someone else's food, otherwise utaamini kwamba your mother is always the best chef.
Correct.
Yep.
So by making them taste Rosoga and that of St. Mary's, and in fact 2 schools went back to St. Mary this time. That is Kamelilo and Simotwe. And I want to tell you, we are going to maintain that number 1 with a big margin.
And that is a promise that has been made by Mheshimiwa Mtarajiwa Kiptonge. Maybe before we continue, allow me to acknowledge those people who are watching. We are live on YouTube.